Mrs. Read, back to share another read aloud book with you. As usual, I want you to be a listener and pay attention and try and notice what the author is trying to tell us. What is the message that we're trying to get from this story? I have to say, I absolutely love this book, and even though it's called Dear Girl, this book is actually for everybody. It's about finding out and being comfortable with you, who you are, you being you, and asserting yourself and being independent. So even though it says Dear Girl as the title, and it's about a girl, even if you're a boy, I want you to be a listener, and I think that you would get a lot from this story. Ready? Okay, let's go. This book is written by Amy Krause Rosenthal and Paris Rosenthal, and it's illustrated by Holly Hatam. It's a celebration of a wonderful, smart, beautiful you, and all of us have that inside of us. So get comfy, as I am, and be a listener. Dear girl, keep that arm raised. You have smart things to say. Dear girl, sometimes you may feel like being pink and sparkly. Sometimes you may feel pretty much the opposite. I'm pretty much the opposite. I'm pretty much the mud puddle girl. But we all have different choices. We all feel like different things. And sometimes you feel pink and sparkly, and sometimes you feel like jumping in a mud puddle. Dear girl, look at yourself in the mirror. Say thank you to someone that makes you you. Meaning, look at yourself and say thank you to yourself because you are beautiful. You're awesome. This girl is looking in the mirror and she has speech bubbles. Remember, we talked about those. Speech bubbles that say, thank you, freckles. I have those too. Thank you, birthmark. I have those too. Thank you, red hair. Crazy hair right now. But thank you for just being who you are. Appreciate who you are. Because the important thing is, everything that you are right now is what makes you you. And there's only one you. Dear girl, sometimes you just need a good cry. Sometimes you'll need a friend. Sometimes you'll want to be alone. And sometimes you'll need a tissue. And sometimes you'll need a bucket. Look at the illustrations and see what they mean by that. There's lots of versions of crying. Sometimes you're like, and sometimes you sob like crazy and you might need a bucket, and sometimes you just need a tissue to wipe. But there's a lot of, sometimes you just need to be alone. Dear girl, do you know that there's no such thing as asking too many questions? I do that a lot. Who, what, when, where, why, how? Dear girl, write down your thoughts once in a while. Even if it's just to enjoy the way that your pen feels against the paper. Wow, she is a big writer. I know a lot of friends of ours that are also big writers. a lot of our friends who have great ideas and write things down all the time. Dear girl, make your room awesome. Make your room you. And while you're at it, make your bed. Yeah, thank you. That's one of my big rules in this house. Make your bed. Takes like 2 seconds. I like her poster of Amelia Earhart. You can Google that. Dear girl, don't ever lose your sense of wonder. Your sense of wonder. What do you think that means? We talk about that word a lot. Dear girl, sometimes you just gotta stop and dance. Also something Mrs. Wread does at home. I hope you guys do too. Dear girl, find people like you. Find people that are unlike you, meaning different from you. You don't have to have friends that are all just like you. It's better when you have people that are different from you. Dear girl, create traditions. Fun, crazy handshakes. And silly inside jokes. Dear girl, if your instinct is telling you to say no, then say no, you know? Something inside you is saying, this isn't right. Say no, say no. When your face feels, or when you feel like that on the inside, that's your body's way of saying, say no. This is my favorite page. Ready? Dear girl, coloring outside the lines is cool too. We always talk about being a master artist at school and staying inside the lines, but oh my goodness, I'm an artist at home and I definitely color outside the lines. That means be creative. I don't know if you can see it. Be creative and be willing to take a couple of risks, safe risks. Dear girl, there's no rules what to wear or how to cut your hair. I agree. Dear girl, you know what's really boring? When people say how bored they are. Ugh. Seriously, I agree with that one also. Because there's always something to do. Even if it means take a nap, or sit in the sun, or play with your cat, or read a book. Dear girl, gosh, I don't know. I've got this. Oh, she's taking a risk. Listen to your brave side with reasonable safety. She's thinking about doing this, and then she eventually does this. It can be scary jumping off a diving board. Dear girl, you won't be invited to every single party on the planet. which is really okay. Can you imagine how exhausting that would be? No, thank you. Mrs. Wread likes to stay home. Dear girl, a tree trunk is the perfect place for quiet thoughts to be thunk. Okay, thunk technically isn't a word, but it rhymes. Dear girl, a tree trunk is the perfect place for quiet thoughts to be thunk. I have to agree with her place because I have a hammock in my yard under a tree where I like to sit and think and be quiet. And sometimes I come out here where I'm sitting now just to be quiet. So everybody needs a quiet place. Dear girl, whenever you need an encouraging boost, remember you can turn any page in this book. And most of all, dear girl, who I love, know that you can always, always, always turn to me. And that would be true. No, it's the end. That would be true for you to be able to turn to your mom or dad, your teachers, your brother or sister, grandma or grandpa. There's always someone to turn to. So be brave, be strong, be you. Have a great day. See you next time.